Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. We are in Japan. This is the B.LEAGUE and the battle between Hiroshima Dragonflies and Kyoto HANNARYZ. Well, these two Western Conference foes in different spots in the standings. You've got Hiroshima right there in playoff contention, at least in those spots. Of course, a long way to go before we can really start talking about playoffs, but you need to be winning. And you can look and you can see Hiroshima fourth place, 9-7, and you've got Kyoto down at the bottom at 4-12. So it's beyond time when they need to start putting together some wins to really fuel hopes of a spot in the end of season playoffs. It's going to be tough. Obviously, the top two winners of each division, each conference, and then you go and you take the best two teams after that. So Hiroshima right now among several 9-7 teams, and looking to really protect the home court today against a team that they should come out and beat. But as we know in the B.LEAGUE, everything does not always go according to plan. So this was pregame today, and always entertaining to see people come out and attempt to make those free throws or shots on the court, and it came oh so close on that. But that is the Hiroshima baseball coach. Of course, baseball huge, not only here in this city, but all over Japan. And, well, they got some of the best baseball players in the world, if not the best. Depends who you talk to. And Kyoto will be coming out. And here we go. Let's have a look back at some of the most recent action. Kyoto HANNARYZ coming out and playing at home against Toyama. Matthew Wright of the Philippines passing it down low. And Kevin Jones going to work, scoring. But you can see their last 5 games, it has been a tough season. But they're looking to put it all together. There's no time like the present to start winning. And if you look at their roster today, going numbers 3 through 77, it's a capable roster of players that can come out. I'll just go ahead and tell you, Terashima, Asayama, you've got Roberts, you've got Isaiah Murphy, you've got Funyu, Blackshear Jr., Evans, Yamazaki, Kamisawa, Nakamura, Hisoaka, and Kawata. And then for Kyoto, again, with just 4 wins this season, Mizuno, Wright, Jackson, Jones, Okada, led by Roy Rana, who is also the Egyptian national team coach. They've got Konishi, Aoki, Suzuki, Hanzawa, Rashid, and Shibuta. And we wanted to highlight for Kyoto their guard Aoki, Ryuji Aoki, and you can see his numbers there, particularly 3-point shooting. Keep an eye on him. He's averaging 6.8 points per game coming into it. You never know when he might pop in the game and pop in a three-pointer that could sway the game in his team's favor. Here's Hiroshima's last 5 games as well, and you can get a glimpse at their form. So they've had it much better of late. They did split a couple against Alvark Tokyo, but before that, won 3 straight. And this is a team that looks right now, after kind of a really difficult start to the season, that they've been putting things right. And they come into this game full of confidence with Evans, one of their leading players. But, you know, they split a couple with the Yokohama B Corsairs. And they won both games already earlier on. There's Hiroshima, the point guard, again. A very important player in the grand scheme of things for this Hiroshima outfit. Also Nakamura, Hiroshima, 9.1 points, 3.9 assists. And Nakamura, 5.3 points, 1.4 rebounds, 2.3 assists. So the lineup for Hiroshima, again, it's going to be Terashima, Funyu, Blackshear, Evans, Yamazaki, Asayama, Roberts, Murphy, Kamisawa, Nakamura, Hisaoka, and Kawata. It'll be Terashima, Funyu, Blackshear, Jr., Evans, the second, and Yamazaki, who are going to be in the starting 5. Dwayne Evans averaging 14.7 points, 7.8 rebounds, 3.1 assists. So across the board production for him. Yamazaki doing a good job, 7.6 points per game. Blackshear coming into his own a little bit now, 14.2 points, 6.9 rebounds. Funyu at 3.3 points, and Terashima 9.1 points, 3.9 assists. So that is indeed the starting 5. Funyu Blackshear, Evans, the big star of this team. And Yamazaki. And Milling is the coach. So he has to be thrilled with how their season has gone of late, but also cognizant of the fact that it can head south quickly. They're the referees for today's game. And again, the starting 5s for both teams. This Kyoto team needs Matthew Wright, the Philippines international, to come out and make shots today, be assertive, so that, you know, they can offset the contributions of that man right there. Obviously, Evans, always a tough nut to crack. A tough man to slow down. Okay, we're underway, folks. Hello again and welcome to Hiroshima, Japan. This is the Japanese B.LEAGUE. It's Hiroshima Dragonflies taking on the Kyoto HANNARYZ in always an important battle, and you can't come out if you're Kyoto and turn the ball over in that fashion right at the start of the game. Okada dribbling it off of his leg So that is a nightmare start for Kyoto, and I'm sure Roy Rana scratching his head, thinking that's not what we need. Jones, though, comes out and buries a three-pointer, and just like that, Kyoto are on top. Charles Jackson, the captain of this Kyoto team. Big center in the paint, and they get away with leaving a pretty good shooter wide open at the free throw line, HIROSHIMA. And there's Jackson. Oh boy, how does Jackson miss that? You either dunk it or you come down with it and make it. You definitely don't miss it. You can't afford to miss open layups. Well, a hand on the face that time as Yamazaki put up his attempt. Bad miss, but there's Jackson for the putback. Blackshear to Evans. Evans into the paint, passes back outside to Blackshear. 2 on the shot clock. Blackshear lets it fly. Front and back of the rim, pops out. And the rebound means it's another opportunity. And they take advantage, putting it on the deck. HIROSHIMA driving and banking it in. Matthew Wright to Jackson. I'm not sure if Funyu got his hand on that. And then driving in again, HIROSHIMA kind of lowered his right shoulder, but was able to get Wright off of him and then go up and score. Jackson. So it looked like a travel. HIROSHIMA holding his chest. Not sure if he took a shot to the chest. HIROSHIMA was looking to go back door. It wasn't there. Now Evans going up against Blackshear. Steps back. That's good. Dwayne Evans has been at this a long time. 31 years of age. Blackshear, or excuse me, Jones. And now they get an offensive rebound. Jones to Jackson, and he's fouled as he goes up by Yamazaki. Well, the distinct height advantage. Didn't see too much contact there from Yamazaki, but they whistled him for the foul. And the missed free throw leaves Kyoto trailing 9-7. Hiroshima coming in again at 9-7, 4th place in their division. Blackshear almost losing it. HIROSHIMA drives in and scores. That's what he does. HIROSHIMA doing HIROSHIMA things already. Now the pass to the corner right. It's good. And that is definitely the right stuff. They need to find Matthew Wright and let him take those jumpers. HIROSHIMA for 3. HIROSHIMA doing HIROSHIMA, excuse me, HIROSHIMA doing a little bit of everything. It's 14-10. And quickly to the other end, Okada. 25-year-old making amends for that early turnover, perhaps.
KYOTO 21番ケビン・ジョーンズ個人ファウルは1つ目チームファウルは2つ目広島ドラゴンフライズ選手の交代です12番中村だと15番川田千里入ります
Well, Kawata checks into the game, the center, nearly 5 minutes in. Nakamura also in the game. Checking in for Hiroshima. Blackshear missing it from deep. A wide open look. He knocked down his first. And nobody gets in the way of Evans. And another turnover. This one on Jones. So my question there is, why is Jones bringing the basketball up the floor? Isaiah Murphy in the game. Shot clock violation. So Yamazaki doesn't get it off in time. And Yamazaki in the backcourt commits the foul. So Yamazaki is going to sit down. Called for the blocking foul. Nice backdoor cut, and Wright goes up and scores again. Good pass, good break, and Matthew Wright figuring out where he needs to go. Look at this. Just a simple cut to the basket when Murphy trying to deny him the basketball, overplaying him, and then the help defense came and fouled Wright as he went up and banked it in. And Matthew Wright off to a fine start. Stepping in right off the bench, Kamisawa makes his first shot. Hands up, good job defensively, Murphy, but then has it stolen away. And Murphy just a little careless with the basketball. He did the hard work to get it, and he just stuck it out there and said, here, you take it. So Kevin Jones does take it, and you know who, Charles Jackson, makes the layup to close the gap to 1. So both teams with some costly turnovers. 3-point shot, that is the answer that you're looking for. Kamisawa, sudden impact. And they get it to the low post, and Jackson goes up and scores. And we're going to have our first timeout 21-19, Hiroshima Dragonflies leading again. This is Wright playing a smart game, making it look easy. He and Jackson. Jackson has, I believe, now he has 6 points, and Wright has 6 points. So they're leading the team in scoring, although Jones also has 5. Leading the way for Hiroshima, 11 points for Hiroshima and 5 for Evans. Okay, Kyoto making their first change. Coming in is Rashid, number 24. Evans challenges and scores over Jackson. Okada dribbles between the legs, gets it to Wright. Jones, turn around. And Jackson comes in for the rebound and another missed layup. And that's not good. Oh dear. Holding the knee. It's Okada. Hopefully, let's have a look again. It didn't look like it twisted the wrong way. But wait, it's the left. I don't know if it was the contact. Well, certainly can't afford to lose Okada for any length of time. They're not going to take any chances. They're going to carry him off the court. You never know. Maybe it could be he's aggravated something. He's going to go immediately to the locker room. So hopefully Okada is okay. Aoki checks into the game as his replacement at 6.8 points per game. And driving in and getting the foul is Rashid. Excuse me, it's not Rashid, it's... Yeah, it was Rashid. It is not Rashid, excuse me, it's Shibuta. I've been mispronouncing, confused him with Rashid, Shibuta. So Shibuta with the dyed hair. There he is. And Blackshear goes to the line and makes the first. So Looks like a technical foul was called on Roy Rana. Shibuya, bank was not open. 24-19.
Foul. Kyoto 13番青木個人ファウラー1つ目、チームファウラー2つ目。
So indeed, they did call a technical on Roy Rana. Just to reconfirm it, Blackshear made the free throw, taking it up to a 5-point lead. And that is the first foul on Aoki. Kamisawa has been hot. Gets it down low. And taking his time, Blackshear goes up and gets his first field goal of the game. So Nakamura whistled for the foul. So Nakamura came off the bench. That's his second foul. And Shibuya at the line. Now Faraz Rashid is in the game. Shibuya makes the free throws. So final minute of the opening quarter, and Kyoto trying to hang around here against Hiroshima. Blackshear, another 3 attempts. Long rebound collected by the visitors. Right, bounce pass, and Charles Jackson again, and that is a pairing that works well, and both players, whether they're passing or receiving the pass and scoring, they're working well together. Look at Wright. So the pick, and then he rolls. Good old school basketball. And defensively, a lot of questions to be asked on that one. Not too much in terms of help. Jackson this time doesn't complete the three-point play. 7-second differential, game clock and shot clock. Oh, Blackshear coming to life. Final possession of this opening quarter. And a good look, but it doesn't go down. So Hiroshima Dragonflies leading at 28-23 at the end of the first quarter. So Hiroshima with 11 points, 7 for Evans, and 5 apiece for Blackshear and Kamisawa, accounting for all the points for Hiroshima. Hiroshima 3 of 5 from 3-point range, 9 of 13 inside the arc. So Roy Rana's team not really getting it done defensively. And for Kyoto, you've got Charles Jackson with 8 points, Matthew Wright with 6, and Kevin Jones with 5, with Okada and Shibuta also contributing too. Remember, Okada had to leave the court after a collision with his teammate Shibuta. Had to be helped off. So hopefully he's going to be okay. Second quarter action underway. Hiroshima leading it by 5. Hiroshima missing. And a foul down low on Kyoto.
京都10番チャールズ・ジャクソン個人ファウル1つ目チームファウル1つ目京都選手交代
So Jackson's going to go out, the captain. Jones comes back in. And Rana already has 1 technical, so he doesn't want to pick up another. An interception. A good job coming up with a steal, leading it up to Shibuta. So Aoki gets the steal on the inbounds pass. That was sloppy for the home team. Now Blackshear, showing some handles with his dribbling, and here he is catching it. Doesn't look at the basket. Passes out to the perimeter, and now Matthew Wright has it. Matthew Wright takes it deep and earns a trip to the line. So, yeah, that's a clear foul. Now, what is... Roy Rana is taking the referees to task over something. But again, he does have that 1T, so he needs to make sure that he makes his point politely. Otherwise, if he picks up another technical, he will be gone for an early shower. So when he comes in, back into the game. And again, still waiting on word from Okada. What's happened to him? Evans. Blackshear posting up. Rashid whistled for the foul. So he's going to go out of the game. Three-point shot, no good. But the rebound, Blackshear. That was Kamisawa missing. Now Blackshear taking on Jackson. And Murphy misses it badly. But Evans has it. And shot clock expires. Okay, so that's good news, unless I'm confusing him with somebody else. Okada is back. So, with not a serious injury. Evans. Jones called for the foul.
京都21番ケビン・ジョーンズ個人ファール2つ目チームファール3つ目ショットクロック残り19秒エンドラインでボール広島
Evans. He's already hit one step back. This time he passes to Blackshear. Oh. And no foul on Jackson that time. And then Jackson gets the rebound. The captain. Okada. Goes baseline, lays it up and in. No help coming for Okada. (28-28). Kyoto fighting back, and here's Shibuta. And this is going to upset Milling. He's going to have to call a timeout. His team has not been sharp today. And Kyoto have played much harder here in the second quarter. So leading Milling to calling a timeout. So Kyoto HANNARYZ, having trailed, have fought back to take the lead. Not sure what happened with Kamisawa there. Very sloppy play. And Shibuta takes advantage. Well, when you're taking on a team that has had its struggles like Kyoto, and you're fighting for the playoff positions, you need to come out and be a little more ruthless. And despite scoring the 28 points in the first quarter, they have gone nearly 3 minutes here without scoring a bucket. And the ball goes off of Evans and out of bounds. Now Jackson turns, puts it up, and again he is fouled by Blackshear, so he will go to the line. Oh, I didn't see anything from Blackshear. I saw the contact with Evans, but Blackshear picks up his second foul. And that leads to the reintroduction of Kawata, who really seems like a big guy that just kind of takes up space, isn't doing too much right now. Jackson at the free throw line as Kyoto extend their lead. Well, Jackson, not surprisingly, off to a good start. 10 points today. Almost 14 minutes in. Funyu to Evans. Kamisawa finally gets the first points of the second quarter for Hiroshima. Closing the gap back to 1. Okada for 3. Gets it right back. Okada, 25 years of age.
KYOTO 34番渋田個人ファウル1つ目チームファウル
So, yeah, that's a good call on Shibuta. Got his arms all wrapped around Dwayne Evans. That's a mismatch. So Matthew Wright's been able to get a breather. The 32-year-old comes back into the game. He's got 6 points. Excuse me, Wright has 7 points. Evans. And the rim protection was there as Kawata must have heard me. Goes up and gets blocked.
21番ケビン・ジョーンズ個人ファウル
Good bounce pass, Evans.
広島ドローンにフリースローが2ショット与えられます
Kawata actually, as Jones goes out, played some college basketball in America. Hails from South Africa, Johannesburg. Big man, 34 years of age. 2.08 meters in height. And gets the first one to go. Just one of 2, but the long rebound goes to him. Then he loses it. Foul on the floor.
広島7番不入個人ファウル1つ目チームファウル3つ目ショットブロック残り15秒サイドラインより京都ボール
So the foul on Funyu. Now Okada again. Looking to extend the lead. And good follow. Good hustle. Okada from the left. Drives in. Now out to right. Wide open. Oh boy, I was about to say you can count it. He's not going to miss many of those. Evans takes it deep. Kawata to the corner. And Kamisawa misses another 3. So foul called, and this time Yamazaki on the right end of the call. So Matthew Wright goes out. That's interesting. Only just came back into the game. Almost another steal on the inbounds. Evans. Yamazaki still doesn't drop. And Hiroshima, there seems to be a lid on the basket right now. Rashid has it. Faraz Rashid back in, hands it off. Shibuta steps into and rattles out. Kawata with the foul on Jackson.
広島15番川田個人ファウルは1つ目チームファウルは4つ目
So with 4.5 minutes remaining in the first half, we have another timeout. So Kevin Jones with 3 fouls. That's why he's out of the game. And then 1 apiece for Jackson, Aoki, Rashid, Shibuta. Don't know why, unless it was an injury, that Wright went out of the game. Or maybe he's not feeling well. He did kind of walk off slowly. But as it is, as we see Hiroshima right here, trying to push the reset button, Kyoto are in a really good spot right now. They've got an opportunity, and Milling knows that. It seems like his team is a little bit out of sorts. I mean, you've got Evans and you got Blackshear, and those are 2 players that can do a lot of damage, but I'm almost wondering if they're not playing freely enough, if that makes sense. Because Evans can really do a lot of damage. Okada, you can count that. Wow. Right out of the timeout. 10 points. Vital player. So, Evans and Hiroshima trailing by 6. Here's Blackshear. Yamazaki pulls in and banks it in. Under 4 minutes to go now in the first half. Okada. Rashid. Shibuta has it. And, oh boy. Okada. You just hit 1. Will it be 2? Not this. No, it will not. Blackshear up to Kawata, who doesn't bring it down. And I'm pretty sure Blackshear's thinking, boy, that could not have been a better pass. So we have another timeout. Well, I can only think that Milling, looking for his players to show a sense of urgency out here, which they really haven't. And it does look like they've picked it up a little bit. This time coming out of the timeout, and Rashid misses a 3-pointer. Now Evans, and that is a tale of 2 3-pointers. One goes in, one doesn't, and it's a 1-point game. Great pass, Shibuta to Jackson. Blackshear thought he had the block. In fact, KYOTO went up and got him with the body. So this is something that Jackson has to be able to do, make free throws, because if they're going to feed you in the low post, you know you're going to get fouled. So far, he's 2 of 4 from the line today. Tries to split on this trip, and he does not. He misses both. Evans, you know Evans is going to heat up. Yamazaki misses, and Okada had the ball, and it looks like it's gone off of Evans. So Nakamura going for the rebound. So it is indeed Hiroshima's basketball. Kamisawa back in the game. Doesn't mess around, right off the bench. And Hiroshima go back in front. Well, it can change quickly for Kyoto, which it has. Rashid missed the 3 wide open. Jackson missed 2 free throws, and now they miss another 3. And they're already losing. Blackshear loses it, gets it back, stays with it, ends up getting an and-one. He thought he lost it. It was going out of bounds, but the ball, like a pinball, came back to him. Watch him. Goes hard. Looked like the ball went off of Evans. Went right back to Blackshear, who then missed a shot, but he got the rebound and put it up and in. And now they're asking for some type of towel or something for Jackson. Maybe he's got some blood. Oh, yeah. Evans got him with the left elbow. Inadvertently. Well, even with his free throw struggles, Jackson is a player that needs to be on the court. One of the primary options on offense. So Blackshear going to the line with a chance for a 3-point play and a 5-point lead. And remember, they were just trailing by several points. He does not make it, however. Maybe this will be a turnaround that Kyoto need. And no idea what's going on with Matthew Wright, but he left the game. That's not a good shot by Okada. Here comes Evans. But then he loses it. His Teammate hustles, gets it. Kawata gets it, misses down low. Blackshear goes up, he's challenged. Evans goes up, and he is fouled by Okada.
KYOTO 77番岡田個人ファウル1つ目シュートモーション中のファウルのため広島ドラゴンフライズにフリースローが2ショット与えられます。京都選手交代15番鈴木入ります。
Well, clearly Okada not liking that call. Suzuki comes in, Jackson comes back in. And Evans stretches the lead to 5. And he really hasn't forced his way at all. Okada for 3, wide open, and halves the deficit. And you can see why they can't afford to lose him to injury. "13 points for Okada. Leads all scorers. And Blackshear called for the charge. Wow. Well, he got him with his right elbow, kind of clearing out a little bit. Okada, not this time. Evans. Murphy. And Nakamura doesn't knock it down, but Evans gets the rebound. And Shibuta then reaches in and is called for the foul as Evans looks at him with disdain. Watch this. Yeah, he's not going to go help Shibuta up. Everybody reaching in, trying to knock the ball away from Evans. So the second foul on Shibuta with 38.8 seconds remaining, another timeout. The game Sendai winning against Hokkaido at halftime. Ibaraki Roebucks and Chiba Jets nodded. late in the first half. Toyama losing at home to Yokohama B Corsairs. Santa Neo Phoenix up on Kawasaki Brave Thunders by 3. And Evans makes the first of 2 free throws. Ryuka Golden Kings losing at halftime by 2 to Osaka. And Evans makes the second one. Shimane winning at halftime over the Diamond Dolphins. Or excuse me, late in the first half. Here is a steal. And good hustle. Look at this. Murphy getting the hands up. So forcing the backcourt violation, not getting it over in time. It's a surprise little tactic. That's good utilization of Murphy. Here's Murphy for 3. Well, he certainly made his impact here in the last couple of seconds. And the biggest lead of the game, 8 points. Okada. And missing everything right at the end, Aoki, and that finish to the first half could not have gone any worse for KYOTO HANNARYZ, who were in pretty good spot, pretty good place, leading by a few points, and all of a sudden they find themselves down by 8 at halftime. 49-41, Hiroshima Dragonflies on top of KYOTO. Well, the first half of this game today, very interesting one indeed. Kyoto leading for much of it, with the home team Hiroshima Dragonflies not turning on all cylinders. Kevin Jones coming out, making that jump shot. HIROSHIMA very active early on. I thought he kind of lowered his shoulder into right there, but I guess really he didn't initiate too much. And HIROSHIMA hitting that long jump shot. Okada came to life. Okada's got 13 points to lead the way. Kamisawa certainly coming off the bench and making his impact felt. And when Matthew Wright was in, he was playing well. Bounce pass there to Jackson. Then you had Shibuta coming out, and as Kamisawa and the home team got a little bit lackadaisical. There's Kamisawa hitting another three, however. And Okada, after getting injured, comes back into the game, makes that long one. And Dwayne Evans showing his quality. Evans with a game-high 14 points, in fact. That was Okada after a timeout had been taken by Hiroshima. But Murphy made a big play on defense, then he hit the big three. So three-point range, two more have been made by Hiroshima. One more make inside the arc. They're out rebounding KYOTO by 12. That is a major concern for Rory Randa's team. They've given away 11 offensive rebounds, and you simply cannot do that, be out rebounded that decisively. And KYOTO also missing quite a few free throws. So, you know, that's a recipe for disaster. Also, if you're turning the basketball over, and from a turnover standpoint, 7 turnovers for KYOTO. 7 for the home team and 6 for KYOTO. They've scored 7 points off turnovers, whereas 11 points have been scored off turnovers for this Hiroshima team. 14 leading the way for Evans, all scores. Okada, 13 leading the way for the visiting KYOTO HANNARYZ. 8 rebounds for Blackshear, 5 for Jackson, who also has 3 assists. 15 bench points for Hiroshima, and just 6 bench points for KYOTO. So clearly not as many bodies, and for whatever reason, when you lose Matthew Wright or you take him off the court, whatever his issue is, and whether or not he comes back, we don't know. But that is going to hurt them. 3 fouls, you can see, have already been called on Blackshear, and then 2 on several other players. So that's not too bad. For KYOTO, the only player with 3 fouls is Jones, but that's a big player. He's going to start the second half. Two on Shibuta. There's Shibuta. Needs to play well in the second half for KYOTO to have a chance. So still no Matthew Wright. I don't know, but I've got a feeling he may not be feeling well. He might be sick. Second half action underway. Jackson fouled by Kawata. So he catches it. He turns. Pretty good block, really. I mean, a little bit surprised they would call that. That was Jackson. He's had his struggles at the line and continues to have them. Jackson makes the second. I feel like right now at the line, anything he makes is a real bonus. So he's now 3 of 8 at the stripe, and it's back to a 7-point deficit. Evans has it for 3. Good job, Okada, getting there, getting the rebound. And again, Okada is the man that does a little bit of everything for his team. Here he is dribbling, and he's going to have to do a lot today. Well, that was a nice stroke from number 13, Aoki, his first points of the game. And Kyoto cut it back to a 5-point deficit. Nice play by Nakamura, knocking him down. Okada over to Jones, puts it on the deck, drives in and scores. Hiroshima going up against Shibuda. Back to Evans. Gets it to the wing, and Yamazaki missing. Okada. Jones quickly down low to Jackson, and Jackson has it knocked away. Hiroshima, good job defensively. Evans to the corner, they swing it back. Yamazaki down low to Evans. And it goes Kawata, and this time he goes up and scores. The big fella, 34 years old. Gets it to drop with that left hand. Shibuta, ooh, wide open layup. Saw the path to the basket open up, and he just went right down the lane. Evans takes it deep, fades, and scores. Both teams scoring at will right now. Jackson posting up, turns. Nobody there for the rebound. Driving in and scoring. Yamazaki. 4 points for him. The lead is 9. Jones again drives, misses. Jackson doesn't rebound it, and it triggers a break. 3-on-3, pulling up at the stripe. As Hiroshima making the basket, and the lead is double digits. And Roy Rana calls timeout. Let's get down to the huddle. So Kyoto needs to stiffen up on defense, and I'm pretty sure that's the first thing their coach said, and perhaps want to see a little bit more intensity. They've been in a good spot today. They don't want to just fritter it away here in the third quarter. KYOTO with the rebound off the miss from Okada. Well, it seems like the timeout hasn't done any good because HIROSHIMA goes out and buries another jumper, banking it in. The lead now 13. Jackson hands it off. Okada, Shibuda. Nothing working right now. Nothing going well for Kyoto. HIROSHIMA to Evans. Back outside, HIROSHIMA. Yamazaki. Here goes HIROSHIMA. Hands it off. Kawata brings it back out. Oh boy. Drilling it. Nakamura knocking it down. And now the alarm bells are ringing once again in Kyoto. 64-48. They are trailing. And this has been a nightmare start to the third quarter.
HIROSHIMA 30番山崎個人ファウルは3つ目チームファウルは2つ目京都選手交代3番水野入ります
Knocking it down was Nakamura.
選手交代広島5番アイザヤマーフに入ります
So Murphy comes back in for Hiroshima. And the ball gets away. Diving on the floor for the ball. Hiroshima. Two players diving for the ball. And a little bit of a collision there. A headbutt. Boy, you don't want to get a headbutt with Kawata. And this is Okada down once again. Remember, he had to leave the game earlier. Now the referees are going to have a look, but I think they're just diving for the loose ball. That's a great sign there by Murphy going for the ball. Lays out. Okay, so in fact it was Kawata. Watch his left foot goes up. So Okada taking it in the nose. Hoping they're going to call a violent foul, but I'm not sure they will. Well, it's pretty obvious what happened, so I'm not sure why they need this much time to discuss it. Unless they're thinking that he intentionally kicked him, and if that's the case, it'll be 2 shots and possession, but they will not be popular if they do. Well, they do indeed call the unsportsmanlike. So that sends Okada to the free throw line. Well, the ball doesn't usually lie, so let's see. Does he make the first? He does. Kawata's going to sit down at the end of the bench. Talk to Nick Mayo about it. Doesn't seem too bothered. And Okada makes both. And to be honest, Kyoto need anything and everything they can get right now because this thing has gotten out of hand. And obviously it's got to be defensively is where they make the most improvement. And intensity-wise. Here's a pass to the corner and the air ball. The air ball collected. So Mizuno putting up the air ball and collected by Jackson. Well, that worked out well. 4-point trip down the floor. And this time the three-pointer is no good by Nakamura.
KYOTO 23番半沢個人ファウルは1つ目チームファウルは1つ目エンドラインよりボール広島
Evans back. Hiroshima misses. And Kyoto fortunate to get it back here. So the door has opened a little bit following the unsportsmanlike foul, and now it's all up to Kyoto to take full advantage. Kamisawa comes back into the game. He's been the answer so far. When he comes right off the bench, he produces. Here's Jackson, 3-second violation. Hiroshima dribbles, passes to Murphy. Then Murphy lost his handle right at the end and turns it over. They get to Jackson. Nope, goes off, deflected out of bounds. Good job by Okada. He's everywhere. Hanzawa drives in, gets rejected by Blackshear, and Jones gets it up in time. Now Murphy, open floor, bounce pass to Evans, drives in, misses another, and Blackshear with the rebound, and he gets a trip to the line. Blackshear gets the friendly roll. So Blackshear makes both free throws and the lead goes back to 14. And you can't help but think really it's going to be difficult for Kyoto to make a big run here. Felt like the door was open, but all of a sudden the lead goes back to 14. Okada, how about that? He wanted to pass it. There was nowhere to go. It just says, okay, well, I'm going to put it up, and he has 18. Little runner from Blackshear. Well, Blackshear to the rescue the last couple of trips. Mizuno to Jones, and Hanzawa there getting his hands on it, and it goes out of bounds. Hiroshima missing it from the wing. I mean, they're just on the verge of delivering the knockout. And Jackson turns. Looks like he might have been pushing off. And then Jones was there to get the ball and the foul called. Watch Jackson. Looked like he was pushing off just a little on Evans. Now, could that be goal interference? Blackshear. Yeah, that's what the referee is saying. The ball had already been released, and as it was going up, the ball was, the backboard was slapped. A couple of breaks here, really, for Kyoto, keeping him in it. They've just got to really knuckle down on defense. Still within striking distance. Biggest lead of the game was 16 points for Hiroshima. Murphy drives in and scores. Well, grew up in Alaska before moving to Arizona. Sophomore year in high school. Mother's Japanese. Father met her when he was serving in the military in Japan. Now he's back in Japan and playing. Looks like an interesting player. Shibuta from the left. And the putback. And that gets it to go. Jackson or Jones. Give him the points. Can they get a stop perhaps and go down and score to get the deficit to single digits? Evans. Steps back. Murphy chasing the ball. Okada has it. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Okada. And he loses it right at the end. Oh, boy. If that went in, that would be brutal. But Blackshear not able to make it. So 10 minutes remaining. It's an 11-point lead for Hiroshima Dragonflies. Hiroshima 15 points, Evans 16, Blackshear 11, Kamisawa 11. Those are the leading scorers for Kyle Milling's Hiroshima Dragonflies as they lead Kyoto HANNARYZ 70-59. Kevin Jones, meanwhile, going to work, scoring with that runner. He's got 9 points, just 4 of 10 from the floor. This is him on the putback. So Murphy stays in the game. Kawata rather, also back in the game. And his pass gets away from HIROSHIMA. Again, no Matthew Wright. He left the game in the first half and walked off the court. It looked like wasn't feeling well. Okada, meanwhile, drives and scores. He's got 20, and he's cut the deficit to 9 points. And Okada almost, I don't want to say single-handedly, but has certainly done the lion's share of the work. Shibuta getting in there and fouling Nakamura. Nakamura looking for some space. Here's Murphy. Blackshear. And his pass intended. His pass was intended for Kawata. I think that's a case of know who you're throwing it to, because I'm not sure Kawata was ready. Shibuta, a layup. And Milling has to call timeout as Kyoto closed the gap to 7 points. $20 points for Okada, 15 for Jackson, 10 for Shibuta. So that layup puts him into double digits. Jones with 9 and Wright, who again hasn't played much today. 12.5 minutes left in the second quarter. And hasn't returned. 16 for Evans, 15 Hiroshima, 11 apiece for Kamisawa and Blackshear, and 5 for Murphy. Nick Mayo not dressing out today. So Funyu back in for Hiroshima. And Hiroshima get it back. Blackshear. Kawata goes up. Offensive rebound. Funyu. New 14. Blackshear. Wide open three. I was about to say that's the price for not getting the offensive rebound. And another offensive rebound, but this time traveling, called on Kawata. Okada for three. Nope. They needed that one. Jackson, though, offensive rebound. They get another chance. Shibuta. I like it. He doesn't settle. He drives, but the good block from Funyu.
Offense foul. Hiroshima 8番ケリー・ブラクシアジュニア個人ファウル4つ目チームファウル1つ目広島ドラゴンフライズ選手の交代です13番ドウェイン・エヴァンス入ります。
Big opportunity. Still just a 7-point deficit. Jones, though, missing it from the elbow. Not much execution, and Okada down holding his left knee again, which is why he had to leave the court in the first half. Clearly that's a recurring injury that he's had. So he went over to meet Evans. Needs to get some treatment again, and it remains to be seen if he's going to be back. So he's lying on the court. So yeah, it's just a recurring injury, unfortunately. Aoki comes back into the game, but you lose probably your best player. And you've also lost Matthew Wright. It's amazing. This game is just a 7-point deficit. So 7 minutes remaining, 7-point deficit. Hiroshima has the ball for Hiroshima. Now Evans drives, takes the bump, and it's fouled by Kevin Jones.
KYOTO 21番ケビン・ジョーンズ個人ファウラー4つ目チームファウラー2つ目シュートモーションシュートもあるため広島ドラゴンフレンズにフリースローが2ショット与えられます。
16 points, 8 assists for Evans. Also has 3 rebounds, a couple of steals. So make it 17 points. I'm not exactly sure what that injury is for Okada. But it's definitely some type of knee issue that he's had, whether it's been a serious injury or a niggling injury. But he's had to leave the game twice with it now. Rashid comes back into the game, number 24. Mizuno also comes back in. And going out is Hanzawa, number 23. Shibuda gets it across midcourt. His pass intercepted Funyu. Funyu to Hiroshima. And it just kind of feels like it's just going to be too much. Just not enough quality right now in this attack for Kyoto to have a realistic chance of coming back from this deficit. The only thing that's keeping them in the game right now is that Hiroshima just not scoring on every trip down the court.
KYOTO 34番シルタ個人ファウラー4つ目チームファウラー3つ目KYOTO選手交代5番小西23番半沢入ります。サイドラインよりボール広島。
Shibuta on the bench, Jones on the bench, and Roy Rana trying to get something out of his bench players, out of his starters. Got more out of his bench today, actually, and there is rebound, quick outlet pass. And Mizuno passes it back out, and it's going to lead to a wide open break and layup. No, Yamazaki misses. Funyu there for the rebound. He misses. Mizuno has it, incredibly. Aoki pulls up for three, and he misses. Both teams right now having an almighty struggle scoring. I mean, Kyoto outscoring Hiroshima 4-2 in this fourth quarter. Okada's going to come back into the game, and Kawata is fouled down low, so there's a very good chance you would think that this deficit is going to remain at 9. So here's Okada coming back into the game. It's his left knee. I'm surprised he comes back in if it's a real problem. You wouldn't want to mess around with that. Oh, the bank is open from Kawata. Now, if he banks this one in as well, it means, to me, he meant to do it. Nope. Takes his time, and it's nothing but net. So it's an 11-point lead, 5.5 minutes remaining. I mean, it is incredible to think that Kyoto is still in this game because they have really struggled. But it's almost like they've gotten Hiroshima to play down to their level. Okada. Aoki. No, excuse me. That was Hanzawa missing it from deep. Aoki pressing the ball. Nope. Evans now has it. Hopefully the knee issue is going to loosen up a little bit. Hiroshima drives all the way in. Misses. There's Kawata from behind. Goes up and gets it to go again. Well, it has to be frustrating for Roy Rana, the coach. It doesn't feel like they're taking the best shot from this Hiroshima team, but it's enough today. So he's going to call timeout again and try to do something differently. Remember, they came in 9-7. Evans 18, Hiroshima 15, Blackshear and Kamisawa each with 11. Kawata 7 now. Foul trouble, and it's 4 apiece for Jones and Shibuta 3 for Jackson. So Kyle Milling's team, Hiroshima 9-7 in the West, and looking to make up ground today, and they might. Well, how about that, coming right out of the timeout, and a bucket for Aoki. Back to a 10-point game. 4.5 minutes remaining. So, not done and dusted quite yet for Hiroshima. But it is a cruel blow not to have Matthew Wright, who left the game with an apparent sickness in the first half. Here's Evans. Short, and again, Okada, despite not being at full strength, gets the rebound. He's fouled in the backcourt. Not a bad foul considering they still got fouls to give. Oh, boy. Almost a lazy pass there. And Aoki passes to the corner. Rebound Jones. And Jones scores again. It's back to an 8-point game. 11 for him. It's kind of, for Hiroshima, kind of an example of how not to finish a game, because they could have easily put this thing away, maybe even in the first half. They have not played that well against a Kyoto team that's really been struggling. And here is the entry pass. KYOTO will get another look at him going to the free throw line. Well, he gets another one to go. Kawata. Teammates enjoying that. Finally misses one. I would say that looking at his delivery, his follow through and everything else, that's probably more of the norm for him. So he's done well to make his 3 free throws. Jones from deep. And 9 points separating these two teams. Evans open. That would have been a dagger the way this thing is going. And then a foul called on Aoki. Murphy back in the game. I would think that it's incumbent upon, I don't know what Roy Rana's arguing about. I would think it's incumbent upon Milling to get Murphy really minutes in this team, because it looks like his, especially with his athleticism, he could really help them. So the lead goes to 11. Jackson missing, getting it back, puts it up and in. Well, 17 for Jackson. So it is absolutely imperative that they do not allow Hiroshima to score and that they go down and get buckets. Three-point attempt. Back up to a 12-point advantage. Yamazaki. So, Kyoto are going to remain stuck on 4 wins. A minute and a half remaining. I think we can see how this one's going to finish. And Hiroshima showing up today and doing just enough really to win. Kevin Jones goes out. That's it for him. He fouls out. Tough day at the office for Kevin Jones. 11 points. 3 rebounds. 2 assists. Free throw good by Evans. He's going to go out. And Kyle Milling's team is closing in on win number 10. But he wants to talk things over here once again, just to make sure they don't leave anything up. Any opening for a comeback. So back to live action, and the whistle blows. And Kawata's team up. I guess he's a little frustrated because he had the unsportsmanlike foul called on him. So Kawata out of the game. He's had a fairly decent contribution. I wouldn't be too annoyed by how things have gone today. But he is fouled out. He's probably annoyed because of the unsportsmanlike foul, but he did kick him in the head, in the face, even if it was unintentional. So Hiroshima closing in on victory out of the timeout, and I guess Kyle Milling wanted to see some execution here at the end. Charles Jackson in the way and preventing the basket from for Nakamura. And KYOTO are going to end this thing on a losing note once again. Shibuta drives to the corner. The corner three, no good. And this thing is mercifully coming to an end. We'll have to take one more shot. Blackshear. Funyu. Jackson. And Blackshear gets it. And I'm guessing they're just going to hold on to it. They're not even going to attempt a shot. So it hasn't been pretty for Hiroshima Dragonflies, but they win it 83-70 over KYOTO HANNARYZ. Matthew Wright, his departure clearly, for whatever reason, I think it was sickness, but I don't know, did not help. And Kawata is still annoyed that he fouled out of the game. But 83-70, Hiroshima win, number 10 for them on the season over KYOTO, who remain stuck on 4 victories. And really, Roy Rana, I think, can only do so much, in terms of playing personnel. They've got to raise their game. KYOTO just got to keep working hard. Jackson, 17 points, 10 rebounds. Got to work on his free throws. Just 3 of 8. Kyle Milling bowing to the crowd to say thank you. Nagasaki Veruca came into this in 3rd place, 1 game ahead of them. And Ryukyu Golden Kings at 12-4 are in 2nd place. Nagoya Diamond Dolphins at 13-3 in 1st place. Those teams in action. So here you have the upcoming games for these 2 teams. San and Neo Phoenix rather, for Hiroshima. And KYOTO are going up against Shimane Susanoo Magic. And those games will be in a few days, this weekend. Well, a job done for Hiroshima and their fans. They're going to have to really raise their game, though, if they're going to clinch a spot in the playoffs. A lot of other teams competing for those spots. Charles Jackson saluted for being the player of the game for his team, for KYOTO. Kamisawa coming out for his team. So Kyoto giving a warm goodbye. So Evans, I think, has been named MVP of the game.
もう一回アビーより花束をお受け取りください。記念撮影を行います。スライディもう少し寄ってください。ありがとうございます。もう一回アビー、スライディありがとうございました。
Yeah, so that'll be the last time that they see Kyoto here this season. So that's why they were wishing them well and goodbye. And Dwayne Evans certainly has his fans.
So それではドウェイン・エヴァンス選手一言お願いいたします。
31-year-old Dwayne Evans is not going to speak.
皆さんこんにちは。Yeah, it's a good accomplishment. Yeah, happy to do it. Hopefully I get a lot more in Hiroshima Dragonflies uniform. So.
本当に、達成できて嬉しいと思っていますし、やはりドラゴンフライズのユニフォームをしっかり着てもっともっとリバウンドを取れていければと思っています。ありがとうございました。
ドウェイン・エヴァンス選手おめでとうございます。今一度大きな拍手をお送りください。
So Dwayne Evans, who also used to play, spent a couple of seasons with Ryukyu Golden Kings, now in his second here with this Hiroshima Dragonflies team. And Terashima's coming out as well. They definitely had a nice game today at Hiroshima. 15 points, 3 assists, 7 of 14 from the floor.
それではこれより寺島亮選手へのヒーローインタビューを行いたいと思います。本日の勝利おめでとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
本日寺島選手非常にターンオーバーが大変少なくてですね、本日の試合に多大なる貢献をされましたけれども、本日の試合を振り返ってみてまずはいかがでしょうか。
そうですね、前半なかなかうまくいかない時間帯とかも続いたんですけど、その中でも我慢して、で後半でしっかりと点差を開いて勝てたので、本当にチームとして良かったなと思ってます。
また12月はカープコラボ月間ということで、普段バスケットを見たことがないという方もたくさん会場に足を運んでくれていると思いますが、普段とは少し違う雰囲気で戦えたんじゃないでしょうか。どんな気持ちで試合に臨みました？
そうですね、なるべく平常心を保ちながら、プレーしようと思ってたんですけど、やっぱり入場とかでいつもと違う格好できたりだとか、なんかワクワクした気持ちで試合に臨みました。
またこうしたですねスポーツの垣根を越えてたくさんの方が応援に駆けつけてくれているこの今の会場の雰囲気いかがでしょう？
そうですね、本当に苦しい時間帯とかに皆さんの声援が本当に背中を押してくれるのでありがたいですし、これからもたくさん試合会場に足を運んでくれたら嬉しいなと思ってます。
本日のマン・オブ・ザ・マッチは寺島亮選手でした。ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。
Well, Hiroshima said first half a little difficult, but we finally got the lead, finally got the highest score. Now Kyle Milling is going to come out and talk.
本日の勝利おめでとうございます。
こんにちは、Dragonflies。こんばんは。皆さん、1、2、3、勝ちジャケ
He's definitely got it down to a pat.
いつにも増して勝ちジャケの声が大きかったように思います。バイウィーク明けのホームゲームでしたが、本日前半戦非常に立ち上がりが少し苦しく重たい展開でしたけれども、ミリングヘッドコーチの目から見て本日の試合はいかがだったでしょうか？
Yes, it was our first time coming. We've only had 5 home games before this game, so the players are very excited to get back at home. And it's a tough schedule with 5 games this week, so we start off a little slow, but we got in a better rhythm. And the most important is we won the game in the end.
そうです。また選手たちもですこのホームゲームっていうのは本当に前からですね楽しみにしていましたし、やっぱりこのスケジュールもですねかなりタフなスケジュールの中ですねしっかりとこういったホームゲームをやっていたんですけども、やっぱりその最初出だしあまりリズムが良くなかったんですが、しっかりと後半リズムを持ち返しましてですね本当に最後まで戦ってくれたと思いますし、やっぱり勝利が本当に全てだと思っていますので、本当に今日勝ってよかったと思ってます。
また B リーグシーズンの開幕前にはですねチームメイト全員で広島東洋カープさんの試合を見に行って応援されている姿もお見かけしましたけれども、カイル・ミリングヘッドコーチも今日はいつもよりも増して気合が入った指導ができたんじゃないでしょうか？
No, when we, as a team, we went to the Carb game. Everyone really enjoyed it, and they won in a very exciting ending that game. So we were very happy to win the game as well. The first game with the collaboration with the Carps.
そうですね、おっしゃる通りチーム全員でカープさんの試合を見に行ったんですけど、本当に楽しくてですね、この今日のカープコラボレーションデーを本当に今の選手たちも心の底から楽しんでいましたし、やっぱりこうやって勝ちでカープのコラボで終わらせられしっかりと勝ちを残せたっていうのは本当に嬉しいことかなというふうに思います、ね。
Carps win, Dragonflies win.
カープさんも勝ってしっかりと今日私たちも勝ったので本当に嬉しい。
So really today is the kind of the union or the collaboration that the baseball team has here in the city in Hiroshima with the Carp as well as the Dragonflies. So he was excited to play today, have his team play, and he asked the baseball fans to come out and support the basketball team again. That was what Hiroshima said. And you could understand what Kyle Milling was saying. So we saw the coach of Hiroshima's baseball team before the game here, taking part in an on-court activity. So yeah, so it's nice, all for one for all, I think is the saying. And there you go. And so you see the Carp with those baseball hats. Looks very familiar. And that was Okada right at the start of the game with that turnover, which did not bode well for his team. But they came right back, hit a three-pointer, took the lead, and they led for much of the first half, KYOTO. Matthew Wright was still available, and Hiroshima driving down. It was soon after that Matthew Wright, well, no, he stayed in the game a little bit longer. but the Philippines international eventually left. That was Okada driving, scoring with the left hand. And Wright was still in the game at this point, dumping it down low. And he had a nice little synergy with Jackson. Shibuta was lively coming off the bench. Kamisawa was a real problem. He came out and had a nice contribution from the bench for Hiroshima. And Okada really left this game with some respect. 20 points, 4 of 9 from deep, 7 of 15 from the floor overall. Evans, pretty much know what you're going to get from him. And Okada, with Matthew Wright not here, just scoring well above his average. Yuta Okada, he came in averaging 13.3 and ended up scoring 20. This was Kevin Jones with the runner. Teams exchanged baskets early in the second half. In fact, with Nagoya Diamond Dolphins falling today, Hiroshima will gain ground on them. Nagoya dropping to 13-4, so they'll be 3 games behind. But of course, Ryukyu Golden Kings and Nagasaki Vodka winning, so they also gain ground, the second and third place teams. So in fact, Ryukyu Golden Kings have now the same record. Kawata was definitely forcing his way into the conversation with some of his plays and fouls. But overall, just wasn't nearly enough for Kyoto today. They just couldn't quite get their big guns going. Kevin Jones, they need him to be much more influential on the offensive end. Yamazaki hitting that three-pointer. He finished with 9 points. And that was it. Kyoto with 2 less threes, both teams with 20 makes inside the arc. And from the free throw line, in the end, Hiroshima, very impressive 16-20. Well, not very impressive, but solid showing, 16-20 and 9-15 for Kyoto. 13 points off turnovers for Hiroshima and 13 as well for Kyoto. And you also had 32 points in the paint for Hiroshima compared to 36 points in the paint for Kyoto. A lot of that is Jackson, obviously. 17 second chance points for Hiroshima 13 for Kyoto, 6 fast break points for the home team, and 13 fast break points for Kyoto. Evans, so he finished with 19 points and 9 assists. And Blackshear had 12 rebounds, 20 points. Was a game-high defeat for Okada. And 10 rebounds for Jackson to go with his 17 points. And Okada also had 5 assists to lead in that category for his team. Well, these are the games that will be coming up, and you can see that Hiroshima Dragonflies up against Sanin Neo Phoenix, and that's going to be on this weekend, December 9th. And Kyoto HANNARYZ will be at home to Shimane Susanoo Magic. Well, Kyoto came here today, and so did the coach of the Hiroshima Carp. And, well, Kyoto's hopes of an upset did survive, really, for most of the game, but they could never quite put it all together on offense. And they fell to an 83-70 defeat to Hiroshima here in the B League. Thanks for watching, everybody.